Ireland, behind the scenes with Hospital Hippie. That's me. Ireland is more than a country. It is a memory. A whisper carried on the wind. A weight in the blood. When I stepped onto this land, I thought I was coming to reconnect. But the ancestors, they had other plans. I came here looking for something. I found everything I had been running from. Ireland is a land that remembers as much as we drink to forget. It remembers the blood in its soil, the voices lost in conquest, the weight of famine and forced silence. And it remembered me, the man I was, the lies I told, the justifications I whispered in the dark. Imperialism didn't just strip the land. It shaped the people to suffer in silence, to be grateful for scraps. And I had inherited that same disease, hiding my own sins, numbing my conscience, fearing the truth. Every 7 seconds, my mind was on my son. Every moment, I felt the weight of what I had done. The separation, the shame, the self-hatred I wore like armor. But Ireland doesn't let you hide. I had built walls between myself and my truth. Ireland showed me walls built from stone, walls cleared by hand, by generations who fought to make land livable. Their suffering was real, but so was their resilience. And I had a choice. Healing isn't poetic. It's brutal. It's honest. It's confrontational. But when your heart is in the right place, even the hardest truths can become a foundation. I came to Ireland to find my ancestors. Instead, I found the strength to face myself. I came to Ireland expecting history. I didn't expect a confrontation with the land, with my ancestors, with myself. The fields here are green, but not just with life. They're green with memory, with longing, with the iron blood of old gods soaked deep into the soil. We say we own land, but land owns us. We break it, carve it, shape it to our will, but it remembers. Ireland remembers. And in that memory, I found my own shame staring back at me. Ancestry isn't just about who came before. It's about the burdens we inherit, the truths we deny, choices we make to repeat the cycle or break it. My ancestors survived imperialism, famine, war. I had survived myself. But survival alone is not healing. And healing, true healing, is never passive. Secrets rot the soul. My silence, my fear, my avoidance. I carried them like a corpse strapped to my back. Until she, brave, relentless, and righteous, cut it loose. In Ireland, I walked the paths of my ancestors. I drank their sorrows, breathed their resilience. and let their voices guide me back to a truth I had buried. The past doesn't have to define us, but it does demand acknowledgement. And sometimes, the only way forward is through. Thanks for watching so far and listening to behind the scenes of Hospital Hippies Ireland video. If you are enjoying this, I am immensely thankful. That's all I care about is that you enjoy and maybe learn something from what I've become, what I've seen. Is that we all start from somewhere, and I don't look like this guy anymore, and it has everything to do with me handling my existential pain. May my light shine and help you find your light switch, as lighting another candle does nothing to mine burning. My trip to Ireland supplied beginning to my investigation of my rage and loathing for the past's misgivings. From governmental occupations, whatever you want to call them, to mafia-style bombings, the gaslighting of an earthen people refuses to sit right within my heart as I gaze over the green fields of old. The many rocks pulled from the ground and the tragic emptiness of a land once filled with Celtic magic only betrays the longing for what once was. It does nothing for the righting of colonial invasions and the hunt of monetary enslavement from oligarchic banks hailing overseas. No one escapes the policies of the floating fiat exchange. They just become dirtbags with square fingers spray painting the sheep to number them for their own version of Social Security. The piece of property has its pool to this vast land of green. Brass still feeds off the iron blood of the old gods. The Celtic repelled the Romans, making them only fall to the imperialism of Great Britain. The British imperialists colonized the ports away from the beauty for which they have no appreciation. Gorgeous rolling hills beset cliffs and maintain a reminder that we are but small creatures. The oceanic climate drying and cold front after cold front inspire a consistent appreciation for the intermittent smatterings of sunlight. Lots of Circle K's in Ireland. The call from my ancestors pulls me more deeply into the spirit of Ireland than I expected. I miss digging in the dirt and toiling over a rocky garden years in the making, seeing the miles and miles of rock walls procured from the dirt make for constant reminders of land forced into hospitality. There is an unimaginable disdain for wealthy in the atmosphere. It rattles the distaste for the ruling class. No one likes the spoils of the rich. Suffering in silence and being grateful for crops on limiting soil is an Irish tradition. No wonder I struggle with exuberance of my emotions. It would be an injustice to the telling of my life within reintegration of nervous tension through radical self-acceptance and confrontational healing if I failed to tell what was going on in my head while I visited Ireland. I have a son. I have cheated and lied. I have made decisions that deteriorated my spirit, mind, and body, rationalizing beyond that feeling as a night shift ICU by claiming I could be a bad guy. I lied about this other woman's pregnancy to my ex and never uttered the words, even aloud, that I have a son, for many months. When asking what I should do for answers through prayer in a perfect Jewish mother's accent, I heard the loud voice of my conscience exclaiming, "You gotta tell her," replying, I could not do that. That's the only way. I was left with silence. I continued to suffer and felt a feeling that I would liken to the aura of a preeminent seizure of orthostatic dizziness from gentle posture changes. Fix your crack. Until faced with confrontational healing from my son's grandmother, I was having diarrhea daily. Religious or not, we all get messages from our conscience. Listen, unanswered and ignored, these messages go to someone else. They spread until someone who has their heart in the right place is brave and wise enough to do the right thing. We can all seek these messages, or we can distract ourselves beyond them. The messages get louder and still get sent, no matter the reception. So on this St. Patrick's Day, thank you for taking a trip to Ireland behind the scenes with Hospital Hippie. May you have a wonderful and lucky day and find success in all your endeavors. And wear green.